And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one today. Epic VeVe live stream, fam. Today we got a big one. Today we got a great drop going on and a lot of different things happening. So, first things first, today we have the Star Wars Droids collection, Series 1. A couple first appearances, a couple second appearances, but pretty limited drop, so I'm definitely excited to get this one started today, guys. Shout out to Shago in the building early on. How we doing, fam? Got a special guest joining us later in the live stream today as well. Probably closer to about 20 minutes in, so I want to hear some predictions. Who do you guys think is going to be joining us on the live stream today for the drop? It's going to be one of the first times I have a guest on the actual channel. I had one of my buddies from my hometown, Tyler Gear, VeVe Chusk, came through the in-person interview months and months ago, so some of you guys might remember that one. Zachary Roy from the Palace, how we doing, fam? Yeah, Shago, keep me updated with everything that's going on with the Omi. I know you had some troubles or difficulties sending the Omi, so shout out to Ryan Roman Tech. My guy hooked you up with a little Go chain, a little Go token there, so let's dive right into it, guys. I want to talk about one thing before we dive into the drop today. Shout out to everyone who joined the Twitter Spaces last night. Also, a huge shout out. Is she in the Twitter Spaces already right now? She's grinding out here. Shout out to Lori Brenner 13 on Twitter, Queen VeVe, hosted an amazing Spaces last night. If you guys haven't listened to it, it's about 2 hours long, an hour and 50 minutes. Highly suggest you definitely play this recording. She saved it. Alfred Kahn was on stage for pretty much the whole night. David Yu came on, and he was talking about a lot of different things. And this wasn't just a normal Spaces either, guys. This had so much information. This was the first time where David Yu really elaborated on the big P word that we've all been speculating on. So Pokemon news was dropped in here. This is one of the best Spaces I've heard in a while, to be honest. And we, the VeVe fam is constantly doing Spaces, so that says a lot. So once again, shout out to Lori. She killed it. She did an amazing job hosting it. So guys, if you haven't listened to that, take 2 hours out of your day and rewatch that. Not financial advice, of course, but it may give you a little bit better perspective of things. So that's definitely something that you should be, tuning in to, watching. And then, of course, later today, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we got the drop that everybody's been waiting for. Star Wars Droids Collection, Series 1. First thing you notice right away, R2-D2 on the front cover. Now, some of you guys may have been saying, we already have an R2-D2. That's kind of true, we do. But this one's animated, this one has sound, this one's even more limited than the first appearance one that we have on the app already. Where is it? Here it is. I wanted to bring it up and give you guys a little preview of what it looks like here. Again, they did an amazing job with the sound quality, the animation on it. So it's going to be interesting. I want to hear some thoughts from you guys. Do you guys think this is going to perform? I've heard some people say better than the first appearance Golden Moments because of how scarce it is. I personally believe in the first appearance is a lot more. To me, that's just a safety blanket long term. When you zoom out 5 to 10 years from now, 20 years from now, there's always going to be a newer, cooler, maybe more limited drop of these characters. So for me, I'm going to try to get it if it's a character that I like, have both of them. I think the answer is a kind of like a both or an and instead of this or that. Gary Vee has always been huge on that. And so Star Wars has such a cult following, loyal following, hardcore following, to where R2-D2, even though this is a second appearance, because it's animated, it's moving already before I even do anything, which is amazing. It's kind of got like, I guess some of those collectibles, it has that breathing effect where you're not even clicking to animate and it's already animating. I love how this is kind of moving already. Wow. That's amazing, fam. I am definitely hoping I grab one of these on the drop. That's the cool thing about this drop, guys, is that it's not just R2-D2 in different poses like they've had before. You could get R2-D2, spend $40 for the drop. This is the blind box. $40 for the drop. You could get this one, the animated with sound R2-D2 1900 editions. If you guys get the 1977, wow, that's amazing. I got a feeling someone in the chat is going to grab one of these today. They're going to land the mint number 1977. If you're a new user, be aware of what mint number you get. Mint numbers can mean a lot. So if you were maybe, maybe you didn't want the R2-D2. Maybe you wanted the C-3PO secret rare down here, right? But you landed the 1977 R2-D2. Pay attention to which mint number you get. If it's a sub 100, can be worth a lot of money. It could be valuable. Special mint numbers are very valuable as well, too. This is the one I'm hoping to get, guys. If I get this R2-D2, I'm just going to hold it. This is something I want for my collection. This is going to be an interesting one. I think the Star Wars hardcore fans understand the importance of this one. It's not my favorite character. I don't really know this character as well. So for me, if R5-D4 comes out popping, which I don't think it will. I think it's going to come out kind of relatively low. But there's only 1,000 editions, 1,078. So I could see this one moving up slowly. This is going to be a tough one. If I get this one, it's going to be hard for me not to flip it. Because it's probably going to come out pretty expensive. Maybe near 1,000. I don't know if it's going to hit 1,000 or not. But I would say somewhere below it. Shout out to Superstar Money. I was watching their video last night. I caught it just in time before I went to bed. I think they mentioned close to like 800. They were anticipating this one. Which I could see it doing that. I don't think it's going to hit 1,000. But over time, I speculate it could definitely get there and over it. 477 editions. The VeVe team takes, I forget how many they take now. Is it 90, 40? I forget. But if you guys know the updated one, let me know in the chat. I think this one is going to do really well. If I get C-3PO or the R2-D2, I'm just going to hold it for my collection, I think. Now, a lot of people are saying they forgot to color in the leg. I believe the leg. I'm not the hardcore biggest Star Wars fan, so maybe we got Corey from the VeVe the VeVe team now. If he can inform us a little bit, if this is how it is on actual C-3PO. I heard something like he had to get a new leg, something like that, painted. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it's supposed to be. So that's why they did it that way. It's one of those things that goes like low key. I think Kay was looking it up last night. He saw like a bunch of articles on this. Like most people didn't really realize that there's a silver leg there. Let me know what that's about if you're a Star Wars fan in the chat. Then we got Lola59, LOLA59. Again, for me, this is the one that I would probably use to flip if I land this one, because even though I think it's going to do well over time, it's just so scarce. Anything scarce and Star Wars related, probably going to do well. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But in my opinion, I do think it's going to do well. But because I'm not the biggest fan of this one, I don't really know this character that well. So I would probably use this as a money-making opportunity for me. And like I said, C-3PO, I don't know if I'll be able to afford this one in the market because I'm trying to get some other things. But I would probably hold this one, hold R2-D2, maybe flip the others. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Yeah, R2-D2 looks amazing. Let's take a look real quick at the market. We saw the Golden Moments R2-D2, the first appearance of R2. Pump when this got announced. I think it just under 1,000, like 900 or something. Shout out to R2-D2 holders out there. But then once we saw the edition count for this latest R2 about how scarce it was, I think the price on these came down a little bit. Yeah, so they came down about $100, give or take. But still, $800 for a list price. What was the list price on these? $40, right? $60. So I understand it's a bear market, but you tend to see, especially over time, as these get in holders' hands, big IP, big characters, popular characters, they're still going to do well. I'm bear market, and this is still $820 from a $60 retail price. So pretty good to see there. Also, guys, if you've missed the Instagram live with David Yu showing off his collection with Elite Comics 11, Elite_Comics 11, make sure you guys go rewatch that. I think it's saved. I believe it's saved. And if it's not saved and you missed it, you opening the vault, they're doing a giveaway, which is an awesome giveaway. get a chance to own one of David Yu's personal comic books from his personal collection. And shout out to Mark from VeVe. Mark, content creator, you know, he talked a little bit about how, you know, David's got a big enough reach now. He's like popular enough to where people understand how big of a collector he is, to where his stuff holds a lot of weight. I think it adds a little bit more value. Perfecto. Yeah, this is exciting, guys. And how you enter this, you just got to follow Elite Comics 11 on Instagram. Follow VeVe, obviously. Follow Comics and Crypto. Shout out to Sean and the whole Comics and Crypto team. And then you just got to comment with your Instagram name and tag 2 friends. And retweet it. Boom. That looks amazing. I think that's a grail. It's signed. I think it's pretty spectacular. I'm going to get to some comments real quick. And then it may be time to bring on a special guest. Let's go. What if I told you I also have that beautiful black tiger Nike polo looking clean, my boy? Let's go. You know what's funny too? You probably can't see it because like the coloring around. It's actually a navy blue one. I got a bunch of these. These are like my favorite kinds of polos, obviously. Johnny Woods, let's go. And of course, you can't forget my guy. I haven't been wearing it in a lot of my videos lately. So of course I got to rock it today. It's so crazy. I can't even wear hats right these days. Got my Sleeping Comics hat on. Let's go. Number 77. Check it. Had to. Gary Lamoto. How we doing? Not David Yu on the channel. Not yet, David Yu. I'm sure one day. We're going to start it off with a VeVe OG. I want to hear some guesses. APB in the house. I'm going timing. Satish. I'll let you guys know also where this drop is popping up today, because a lot of people kind of forget. Maybe they haven't gone for a blind box in a little bit. So if you guys are going for the blind box drop today, it's going to be, once this gets to 0, timer runs out, the buy now is going to pop up right below the comment and the heart and right above the wording here. Now, do not bring down this details box. Leave it closed, because if you leave it open and then you go for the drop, it's going to slightly move where that buy now pops up. So definitely leave that closed. And like I said, this one's I don't know if this is going to sell out right away. I think it might. Anytime there's a chance, I like to try to time it just to make sure that I do get one if it's one I really want. And I do want the R2-D2 or the C-3PO today, so I'm going to be trying to time it. As it gets closer to maybe 5 minutes, I'll tell you guys how exactly I time it and how I've had so much success going for these drops. Even got the Superman drop. Unbelievable. But that was just pure luck. But by now, right there, I guess you could call it right in that little space right there. Shout out to the Vault. I think he calls it Space Gate or whatever the word terminology is these days. But definitely right in that little space right there. And another thing that really has helped out tremendously is about 30 seconds left. If you feel risky, maybe do it with like 10-15 seconds left. But I like to back out by just hitting the store button and then hitting the drop again and coming right back in. For me, it tends to kind of reset the timer and making sure that it's going down in order, because sometimes it'll be like delayed on a second or whatever the case is. So that's just some little tips that I like to do right there. How's your fantasy team recovering? That's hilarious. Yo, I'm in second place right now. Haters gonna hate, you know, but Astros no hitter. Let's go. Yeah, you guys are hilarious. All I gotta say is that the Phillies are dominating tonight. I was about to wear the red polo today, but I just came right from work, had this one on, so I didn't even have time. I brought it down here with me, but I was gonna put it on today. I didn't have time to switch my shirt. I may put it on later, but of course I gotta rep the VeVe shirt down here. I gotta have like 10 VeVe shirts. You keep getting I run through them too quick. Eagles are gonna win tonight, and the Phillies are gonna win tonight. I am John. I'm actually going for the drop today, just because I want a chance at that C-3PO 477 edition. And if I get to R2-D2 animated, and if somehow it comes below retail, I'm just going to hold on to it. I think it's going to do pretty well, though, so. Tell me I was not right about Harper, though. He didn't hit 2, but at least he hit 1. Microwave gate, freezer gate, one or the other. Pele, great question. Are these more important than the golden moments? I like the golden moments more. That's a personal choice for me, first appearance. But I do think, you know, the more limited edition collectibles we get, maybe the next one is even cooler looking, more scarce, has even more utility to it. Maybe those do well temporarily. I think if it's a big enough character, more popular enough character, it's going to do well. Both are going to do well. I personally believe, even with a little bit more additions, super long term, 5 years, 10 years plus, the first appearance is going to carry the most weight, in my opinion. Let me get through some more comments real quick. And then I'm going to bring on a special guest today. This is a VeVe OG. He's been here since day one. Put some comments in the chat. Any guesses who it's going to be today? Knight Rider, hope all is well, my man. Super Simono, appreciate you big time for tuning back in. Chasing Sundays, let's go. Look who's back. Feeling good, fam. Feeling good. The last 3 collectible drops by now, button has been in different spots. Wow, has it really pure chaos? So I believe if you do not pull this menu down, it's going to be right below the comment heart, right above these words, right there. That's where I'm going for the click today. Hopefully it's right there. Not Alex. JV pitching today. I hope you mean JD, not the JV team. VeVe Vision, great guest. Shout out to VeVe Vision. Not him on today, though. Oh, Knight Rider bringing the heat with the questions. Man, this is a tough one. Knight Rider, I love the questions. Keep asking them. It just made me crack up laughing. It's so random, too. So random. Gronkowski, he is retired. He hasn't gone back on the Bucks just yet for a playoff push. Not VeVe Vibes, no, but shout out to Vibes. Definitely got to have him on, too. Oh, yeah, that's another great option right there. If you want to adjust your font to small for button under the comment. I believe the button's still going to be up under the comment. Just don't pull down the details for the wording there. Knight Rider, that's a tough one. For me, oh man, I'm going to think about this one though. The VeVe logo or a Walt? Wow. Whew. My gut's on Walt right away. Just because of the popularity of Walt Disney, Mickey Mouse, but VeVe's going to grow into a household name. And with the utility that they can bring with that logo, man, that's a tough one. I am going to lean Walt, but there's only 500 of these logos. All right, let me, 1 second, fam. Let me send out this invite. Let's go. First time I'm bringing a guest on the channel. About time, fam. Let's go. We got 40 minutes to the drop. I do not have any kids, Chris. Great question, though. Luke, how we doing, fam? What up, solemnly swear? Fantasy football guys are in the building. Walt is king. It's so hard for me to go against Walt because people just say Walt and Walt and Walt. But people forget that it's not only first appearance of Walt Disney. It's the first appearance of Mickey Mouse. I always said if Mickey Mouse was a golden moment by itself and it was first appearance and then we had Walt by itself, I think those both would be about what the price is right now. What is it, 3,000 still? I think both would be close to that right now. It's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. Fun under the sun, sleeping comics for sure. That's actually a great guess because of sleeping hat. He'll definitely be on the channel, but it's not sleeping. Jabes, I've missed you too, brother. I'm glad you took some profit to it. That had to feel nice. Great point right there, Tony. I think it will. It's either if your font is big or if you bring down the details button. So make sure you guys do not do that. MBZ, how we doing? How we doing, fam? A lot of people are saying, well, I'm going timing on this one, Mark G. What's Amazing Spider-Man 15? Is that Doc Ock? I could be completely wrong on that. Which comic is ASM 15? Does anyone know offhand real quick? I think it is Doc Ock, but let me just run through. There he is. There he is, the man himself. All right, guys, enough with the guesses. I don't think anyone got it right. Randy or Foster, not yet. Rob Stuff, nope. They'll definitely be on the channel as well. But guys, this is a VeVe OG. This is a legend on YouTube. He's been on YouTube way before VeVe even. We had one of the very first VeVe interviews. He brought me on his channel. I think it might have even been the first VeVe interview. I'm not 100% sure, but it's up there. The Red Circle pioneer. I can't wait to bring him on. Yours truly, Kyle Wilson.
Hey, how you doing, my man? What's going on? You're too kind. You're too kind, man.
How are we doing, brother? Good to have you finally on the channel, my man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you for having me on today.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I know a lot of people are already familiar with Kyle Wilson, but if you guys aren't familiar, make sure you guys go check out Kyle Wilson on YouTube. Let me bring up his YouTube page. Almost at 10K subs. He's about to be at 10K any minute now.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're so close.
He's been doing YouTube way before VeVe, so that kind of brings me into the first one of the first things I wanted to ask him. Kyle, how did you bring it way back? How did you first start your YouTube channel before you even found VeVe?
Yeah, so that's interesting. That's kind of like the origin story, right? And originally, I started just wanting to document crypto because the technology interested me quite a bit. And, I didn't really have anybody else to talk to, and I sounded like a crazy guy in real life, like that. I don't know. Crypto at the time is like, what is this magic internet money? Like nobody knew what crypto was.
Because you got in before 2017, right?
Yeah, just around then. I knew about Bitcoin from when I was like 14, but at the time I was so young that I really didn't know what it was at the time. But I got involved in like 2017, and right around that time is when I kind of started up a YouTube channel and really just wanted to document what was going on and things like that. It was important to me that I had some kind of like way to I don't know, look back and when I was older to show I was there in the beginning. Little did I know that people would actually watch my videos. Like I didn't know, I just like, I'm just going to post these videos on the internet and people might like it. I don't care. It's more for like me, and things like that. So that's how it began. And, I racked up, thousands of views early on, and I could honestly like just stick to crypto videos and be just fine. But, I wanted to do something that I was passionate about moving forward. I'm still a big believer in the space, obviously, and where this technology is going. But with NFTs and platforms like VeVe, obviously it just clicked, and I was like, this is something I will thoroughly enjoy creating content on for the foreseeable future. So it was a no-brainer to come back to YouTube and a couple years ago and start making content again. And it's been an amazing ride. And yeah, I think our interview was like the first community like interview. I think obviously Dan and David have done their fair share, but in terms of the community, nobody has came together. That was like a hallmark moment in the community. There's a lot of hallmark movements that we were a part of in the beginning that people just don't realize. Like that was the very beginning of the community, and really there wasn't that many users on the VeVe app at the time either, and it
I
was
think
like
there's like
right
less
before it
than
exploded.
yeah, I think there's like less than 10,000 at that point, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I see people that on Twitter, they're like, "Oh, I came in last year," but I'm like, I don't know how early you were because there's only like 5 or 10,000 users. Like,
Right,
there can
right.
only be those sub 10K minted users on VeVe. So, back then, me and you were just talking a lot about where the future was going, and a lot of people were calling us moon boys. A lot of people didn't believe in the app. They didn't believe Marvel, Disney were coming. So yeah, it's been a journey and a ride. So
Absolutely. I think there's an echo, so let me just try to fix the audio real quick.
okay,
How's this, everyone? Can you guys? Is this better with no echo?
check check check. Yo, yeah, that's really good. I don't hear an echo anymore.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I can hear you perfect too.
All right, sweet, sweet.
Can you guys hear everything in the chat?
Yeah, I don't think they can because I'm hearing what they're hearing, so I'm good on my end.
But they
Yeah,
can hear everything else, right? It's not like
yeah. I can hear everything, so
okay, awesome.
we're
So
good.
that's
We're
good to
good.
know. I mean, so with crypto, you definitely been through a lot of the bear market cycles, and you've had a lot of experience with that. So it's kind of where we're at right now with VeVe. We've been through the all-time highs, January, February, crazy bull runs, and what kind of experience have you kind of learned, and has it similar to the crypto space when everything kind of tanked, and or is it a little bit different? And
Man, it was almost exactly the same as 2018. It is
wow,
like, the cycle was very similar. So in 2018, the market crashed. Same thing happened in January, almost the same exact timing. And maybe some of that was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, just because everybody thought crypto was going to crash. So
right,
therefore it did. So NFTs obviously are affected by that because a lot of their prices are correlated with crypto prices. But obviously VeVe is somewhat insulated in that sense that a lot of it's like gem and fiat. So we
right.
do have a benefit of being somewhat insulated on the platform, and I don't know, we have seen NFTs in the previous like crash flashes outperform crypto. So it's something I am like always keeping that in mind, because at any moment NFTs could actually be more reactive in a positive way than crypto. Crypto could take a while, whereas people still want to collect. People still want that social flex, which are emotional drivers, versus crypto, which
Mm,
is it's kind of emotionless. It's just a token.
right.
People don't necessarily want to just continue to invest in something that's going to go down. At least in a bear market. So
And
there's a lot
especially
of
with oh, go
yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, especially with all the IP Vivi has and a lot of the other platforms that you're involved in, people still love collecting that stuff that resonates with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't take almost any gains and then January. I was like, it's gonna keep going, man. Like,
Right.
that's what it felt like, And a part of that was just being new to like these collectibles. Like, nobody can really say like, oh, you should have did that or should have did this. It's like, well, nobody really knew where these were going. This is something that's never happened
Brand
before,
new.
and these emotions are something new that has never happened before. Like when you're able to collect the very first like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man on the blockchain,
It's
like
crazy.
tell me that like how easy that is to sell, because it's probably not. It's probably super difficult to like sell something like that historic, right? And
Right.
so that's what comes into play, and during these bull runs. But it's a lesson learned, and it's something to add into like a strategy, and a good strategy for long term. So
Absolutely. And that's one thing that I took away too from the all-time highs that we hit in January, February, even a little bit of March. That experience. Hindsight's always 2020, right? We didn't know everything was going to come crashing down. We didn't know about things with the war and everything going on, the economy. So I think it's definitely to take those lessons learned and just get ready for the next cycle or the next opportunity, basically. So definitely solid right there. I mean, you got to learn from the experiences.
yeah, totally. And just like with anything else, markets are always going to cycle. There's always going to be ups and there's always going to be downs. So people just got to do you and figure out what's best for you.
Definitely, definitely. And speaking of some IP that we all kind of love and everything like that, about today's drop, we got Star Wars dropping today. I want to find out from you. You're a pretty big Star Wars fan yourself, right? Are
I'm
you
I'm a
going
little
for this drop?
biased. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
tough to not be biased because I'm a big Star Wars fan. So I'm definitely going for this drop, and I
let's
think it'll do
go.
well. I'm really very long term bullish on the R2D2 and C3PO. So yeah, long term though. So take that with a grain of salt. You are talking to a
Right.
Star Wars fan, so hear me out, everybody in chat. You know, I know they can be brutal sometimes, but yeah. What's up, everybody? What's up, fun under the sun? I see you. I see you.
Definitely, definitely, and that's the thing, right? I mean, we all have our favorites and everything like that, but given the current market, we don't really know exactly what's going to happen. I do believe though this animated R2D2, and I think the C3PO, the Secret Rare, they're both going to do pretty well in my opinion.
Yeah, I think too is like what could really set it off is that we could see like OUP or MCP if one of those, one or the other or both come out. I think MCP is a little bit reliant on OUP coming out first, but if that comes out or if they say anything about that, like Decon for instance, we could see a lot of these like lower edition collectibles really move a little bit,
I
despite
agree.
market conditions. I think people are kind of leaning on the market condition a little bit too much. Like I think
Mm,
there's a little bit more. I know people. It's hard to kind of like wrap your head around it. It is a bear market and it's hard to get past mentally. But I think people are leaning on that a little too much, given how many editions some of these collectibles are and how we've seen like the Ray Fixies of the VeVe app and the Dr. Profits and things like that. At any moment, they could just pull a trigger and one of those,
sweet.
yeah, they could sweep and that it could have significant impact on the floor, obviously. So I think people are trying to lean a little too much on the market condition. I mean, it is a good point. I would like to see a little bit more whale action in the app currently, but currently they're probably waiting on the sideline for the market to turn as well. So it's kind of like the whale pivot. We talk about
Right.
the Fed pivot. When are they going to pivot? When are they going to ease this quantitative easing or whatever?
Right.
And it's funny because it's like, well, we could see a whale pivot on VeVe at any moment. So
That's a great
I,
point.
I kind of like to look at and analyze things from a different angle that everybody else is kind of analyzing from. So
Yeah, definitely. Great insight right there. And I definitely agree too. I mean, and those are just the public figures that we even know about too. And not to mention all the ones that are privately, with the big bags and could sweep the floors at any moment. And so,
yeah,
like you
totally.
said, these limited edition runs, I think it was NFT Pirates. Chad was talking about too a little bit how back in like a 2006 it was, I think, with Pokemon cards, they had extremely limited runs to where that ended up being some really valuable cards, in today's market and everything. So he always, he mentioned don't sleep on the editions and the collectibles dropping in this kind of market sentiment because, like you said, if it's got a strong enough IP with a limited enough drop,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think it could do really well still.
I mean, there's a collection on like OpenSea that just popped off, and it was a free mint, and it's like going for over 10 ETH, and it's like not
Jesus.
even a well-known IP. It's like a brand new
Oh my
IP.
gosh.
Yeah, and it's something like, and I think it's like a 10. I don't know how many editions there are, but I think it's more than what's dropping today. So,
Wow.
yeah, so I think that anything's possible. So even in these market conditions, anything's possible. All it takes is a spark. All it takes is people coming into the app or excitement or Star Wars fans getting, moving more into the app or something like that. So,
Definitely.
um,
And like you said, with the MCP OUP coming out, I think also a lot of these whales are kind of waiting on crypto being enabled to where I think that's going to add in a lot of liquidity into the market. David talked about that, I think, last night on Queen VeVe's Spaces. I knew you were in there. And he talked about how, institutions might end up wiping out entire collection runs of comic books. And so when you start hearing him talk about this kind of stuff, it gets me pretty excited because they're not thinking about today, tomorrow, next week. It shows their vision for where this is really going. They're rolling things out, laying things out, the groundwork for years to come. So,
yeah, that's a great point. I mean, when you're looking at the David Dans and Alcons of the world, they're not looking at what's happening next month. They're not looking at hey, what I mean, they are looking at their drops, but what I mean is like they're not looking at in terms of like oh, what are these collectibles gonna go like in price wise? What's the floor gonna be in next week? No, they're totally not. They're planning for the future, and vision for not only their company, but what the world's going to look like in the future. And that's a part of being a visionary and having a successful company. And I think people need to filter that a little bit into their in their strategy too, and not always, base everything on what the floor price is today, tomorrow, or even next week. But what is it going to look like in 5 years? What's it going to look like in 10? Could this potentially be highly collectible when I'm, retired or whatever,
Exactly.
So I think a lot of collectors do that. I look at, comics and crypto. I believe he has a strategy. I'm very interested in how he thinks and how he filters everything in his mind, because I believe it's probably at the higher levels long term versus short term.
Definitely. Absolutely. Absolutely. And MBZ had a question here to kind of go off topic just a little bit here. I do want to touch on some more things in the topic, but this got me excited. When I saw this comment, I was like, wow, we really are going to DCon. We're all going to Anaheim. It's going to be an
Yeah,
unbelievable
let's go.
time. So we are going to DCon MBZ. Hopefully, a lot of other people in the chat are going as well. I want to hear or get a kind of feedback gauge on how many people are going. If you're in the chat right now and you're going to Anaheim DCon, let us know in the chat. Are you guys going? Because I'm excited to meet everybody. And for Kyle, we're staying in the same house together the first night.
Yeah.
Who else is it? Cavell, Kay, and Chris Coffey, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's going to be an exciting time, brother. What
Yeah,
is
I'm
one
pumped.
thing that you're looking forward to in Anaheim the most? If you had to pick, like, I know it's hard because there's a bunch of different things, but like if you were the most excited about one thing that's keeping you up at night, maybe, what is one thing?
Oh man, there's so many things. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, getting to meet, obviously you, the guys in the house. Obviously, that's super exciting. I mean, like the gamer in me, like, I don't know. It's like back in the day that was like all kind of a part of my childhood. It's like going over to buddies' houses, playing games, and like all that stuff. And so it kind of is like nostalgia for me, like to
Right.
do that again. So that's pretty
Definitely.
exciting. Obviously, like meeting the team, obviously seeing a lot of the community members in person, and the VeVe golden logo stuff. Or I think that's kind of streamlined anyways with the actual, like, I think they're doing like some kind of event on
Event,
one of the
yeah.
nights. So I'm excited for that. I'm just excited to meet people at the end of the day. I haven't seen anybody. I haven't been to an event yet. Um,
Same, man. Crazy.
yeah, it's surreal that you're going, because it's like I get to be a part of your first event and vice
Right.
versa,
It's same.
and
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
and I truly believe this event's the biggest. I think that with the VVverse, demo and things like that,
I keep
I, I
forgetting
just
about that. Wow.
I just think it's special. I think this is a special moment in history in the VV community, and I don't know. It's just exciting to be a part of that, and that's the things that are keeping me up. I don't even care if I'm not able to get one of those physical, like, limited collectibles. I don't
Same.
even care. I met everybody. That, to me, that's a golden moment or a golden logo in my heart. You know what I mean?
No,
So
that's a
I
great
don't
way to
know.
look at
I
it.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of the VV Golden logo, Knight Rider is someone who's been in the community on my channel, supporting the channel for a while. I'm sure your channel, everyone's channel, and the VV fan. And he always asks me the toughest questions, I swear. So I love it because, being able to answer a lot of these tough questions, can help some people out. And he asked a tough one here. He said, would you rather want a VV logo or a Walt if you own none of them?
Oh man. Oh, I don't know if I can make a suggestion there. That's just
Right, right.
that's tough. I mean, they're both gold to a degree. I mean, oh, that's I think that's $1 million question, to be honest. I
It
think
really
that's
is.
yeah.
That's a
I
tough
think
one.
that's a lot of people are wrestling with that same thing right now. So
Because David talked about it last night in the spaces too. He goes, that logo, they want that. They have as much control over that as they want. So that's
yeah,
something that
yeah,
they don't have to sign off, wait for Disney or anything like that. So special time to be able to maybe, depending on your budget or whatever, be able to maybe grab one or the other. Now that
yeah,
prices
totally.
came down a little bit.
Yeah,
Homie Player
it's a tough
One,
call.
I don't know if you can go for it on the web app. Do you know, Kyle, if you can go for these drops on the web app? I don't.
I think you
Last time
can. I just don't want to.
yeah, I don't want to risk it, right?
Yeah, I think
Do you
I
think
tried
this is gonna
one
sell out?
time.
Do you think
I
it's
think,
gonna
oh
sell
yeah,
out?
oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
selling out, no question. I know
and that's
Jerry
what
was
we've
like,
learned.
yeah, I know Jerry didn't think so, but I would bet him a dollar that it sells well because I don't bet. So a dollar would
Right.
be
What's the cheapest VV collectible? Maybe bet on one of the cheapest ones.
yeah. How about that? Yeah.
Definitely have to get the Gale Pirates on, some Legends.
Yeah, Pirates, yeah, Gale, yeah. Man,
So
shout out to the Gale, man. He's been popping off in the Cal community for a minute. I
definitely.
originally I was doing some Cal videos, and then I saw him do some videos, and then I was like, you know what? I don't even have time to like. I'm so busy, so I'm like, I'm just gonna watch Gale's videos, and he's done so good
Yeah, he
with the
really has.
cows and the
Shout out
cow
to the Gale,
community.
man. He's definitely been a VV OG, and it's pretty cool to see him kind of like document his whole NFT journey, you know, on all the different platforms. So,
Yeah, he's kind of grown out a little bit and branched out, and he's doing his thing now. So,
wow, there's a lot of people in the chat going there, going to the decon.
hmm. Yeah, we'll be flying in, man.
Unbelievable. And that's the thing too, you know, I really don't like flying. Like I flew with my baseball team for 4 years in a row to Florida, and I got over it. You know, I wasn't like scared, but I was like, I don't really like doing this, but I'll do it with the whole team type thing. But I've never flown by myself, so I thought about making a road trip out there, but that's just like too time consuming. It's probably gonna
So
take like a
far.
week long. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? With Thanksgiving before and everything, I was like, I'm just gonna get over my fears here and just fly out, meet the fam. You know, I'm gonna make it seem like I'm traveling to go perform on a live performance or something like that. Maybe
There you go.
a
Yeah.
baseball game or something.
Honestly, man, if I don't know what time of day you're flying, but I just pass out on flights. I'm just
That's another
like
thing. Yeah, I should have made it like even earlier. I think my flight is like 7, 8 in the morning, maybe 10. It's not like crazy early.
yeah. I don't know what it is. It's just like flights make me just want to pass out. And then of course like you pass out and your neck's like
And then
cranked and you're like,
stiff
ah.
position. Oh,
And then
you
you
gotta get
wake
one of
up.
those pillow seats, like the neck
Yeah,
seats.
it's always hilarious when you wake up awkwardly, like you're like, like,
Right.
like, and the person's right next to you, and
Especially if
you're
you
like,
don't
oh,
know them right
sorry.
next to you. Yeah.
Yeah, had
I
that
think
happen, and I had to play it off last time.
okay. I picked an aisle seat for me to go in there, and then I got a window seat coming back. So
Nice.
pretty
I
good
don't even know
time.
what seat I got. I'm just gonna do whatever. I don't care. I'll just sit wherever. I just don't like sitting in the very far back. I mean,
Right.
like right next
By the
to the.
bathrooms.
You can't even like lean back usually. Yeah,
Yeah.
right next to the
Now,
back.
speaking of the Gale, get into his documentation of all the other NFT platforms out there. I know you've been in some other projects and platforms out there. What's the most recent one? The McFarlane Digital, right? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's something I've seen some of the stuff that they're working on, and it's pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. Obviously, it's McFarlane like toys like that. Like, I mean, obviously, it was VV's like first collectible,
Right.
so there's obviously history there already. I don't know. It's just
Definitely.
gonna be. I think it's gonna be really exciting. I think people will really like it. Now it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. I think they're gonna have some similarities in terms of some of the I can't say too much, but
Right.
I don't know. Like if you can get on the allow list and get access to that first drop, I think that'll be, you know, it'll be good for you to see some of that stuff and what's going on. And it's really super high fidelity and like super like high graphics. So
Nice.
I think the product will speak for itself. People will. I think people are going to go a little bonkers on Twitter on it, and I think it'll just be organic from there. I mean, McFarlane, you got to think is like he's already been super successful, not only in comics, but I
Definitely.
mean toys. Like he's done so well that DC pretty much like has him run their toy line, their physical toy line. They consolidated DC toys, and they weren't even actually doing that well. And I think they just like reached out to Todd and was like, "Hey, can you run our company?" like, and so I think he
Legend.
does both. He's got like the McFarlane toys, and then he does DC stuff. So I'm pretty sure he still does DC stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
I was
he's
gonna
just a
ask,
true.
is there other IP on there as well too? Because doesn't he cover a lot of different
Yeah, they'll
brands?
be. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the McFarlane Toys website, you can already see like what's on like his like brand umbrella that we could possibly see on like the digital side, and I'm sure some of that stuff we will. So it'll be some of the most iconic characters you're probably used to. So I think the collectability factor will be there, like super high fidelity and things like that. I think it's just gonna be like, whoa, this is like insane. So
And Trevor's helping make a lot of this stuff too, right?
yeah. Trevor has a big hand in the process, so he's like
That's
I
awesome.
don't know his exact title. I think it's like production manager or something, but I think he does way more than that.
Okay.
He's got a lot of game theory background with gaming and stuff like that. So I imagine he's helping like gamify everything too. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that's a good thing for the entire space, you know. And maybe some people out there may at first get like a little worried or whatever the case is. You know, there's always the nerves when anything we see another digital platform out there at the beginning with the VV fan. But I think people will start to understand that this is going to help solidify, help kind of, you know, make it a little bit more legit for a lot of people that were maybe on the fence of digital collecting. I think the more platforms that come out with licensed digital collectibles, I think it's better for the entire space. I think it was Matt Mason with the cows.
mhm.
He was talking about how if VV wins, we all win type thing. Meaning like that's my first alarm for the drop. Got to make sure we don't miss the drop
Ooh,
today.
yeah. Thank for. I would have missed it. Yeah.
I thought I might too.
I
I
thought I
thought
missed it earlier. I thought I was like, oh no, I missed it by like a minute.
I have
Oh,
one
and
at
then it
the
was
5 minute
luckily.
mark.
Yeah.
I've missed one drop before. It's the worst feeling in the world.
It is. It's so bad. It's literally
Especially
terrible.
because like I'll come on just to live stream for the drop, and if I get carried away talking, I miss the drop. I'm like, wow, I miss what I'm here for.
I know. I know. Rookie mistakes too.
Definitely. Now, there's been a lot of news coming out lately with VeVe. Pretty much our last community update video was, I thought, was really, really bullish. They started off that video covering, I think it was like the first 10, 20 minutes, all the things, and they don't usually do this anymore with timetables, you know, time frames of when things are going to be released. They were talking about the OUP being released in November, I think they said. MCP being released November, December this year. Um, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure exactly word for word what they said, but a lot of big things are coming soon. So, what's one thing that you're looking forward to that is finally coming soon in the VV-verse? Well, in the VV community.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the demo because that's like coming up soon, and then
Crazy.
obviously OUP. I think that's massive. The token holders that have been kind of holding out and like holding
Yeah.
strong, and I think that's exciting for them, exciting for me, and if we do get, I think OUP is like the article. I think the Medium article might come out first, or I don't know
Yeah.
if they said it was the actual OUP. I can't even remember. Um, so yeah, that's like really what I'm excited for because that's gonna like give VV a lot more credentials in the space
Yeah.
too. When it has like almost it's like a utility in a sense, right? You stake your tokens, you get like perks in the app and rentability, and I mean, there's just so much they can do there with the OUP.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna have like a tremendous impact that I don't know. That's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited about that.
Definitely, and that makes sense too, because at the end of the day, OMI is a utility token, right? And so we've all been investing in it before there's even really utility for it. So for them to come out with the article, and I believe it's like a finalized article, but they're still open to like feedback and revisions on it. But it's been revised like over like hundreds of some times. I don't know the exact amount, but it's been worked on a pretty good amount. So it's pretty cool to finally kind of see that, you know, evolve into finally coming out. So that with the combination of MCP, I think it's big. I think it's huge. It's like it's one of those things that the whole community has been waiting on forever. It's finally here. You know, it's finally around the corner.
Yo, what's up, Jimbo Lee? Thanks.
Master Kyle, this
Appreciate it.
drop, Austin. This drop is happening right now in about 12 minutes exactly right now. So,
Austin.
make sure you do not forget the drop. I think it's going to be a good one. I think what we've noticed is, you know, if it's a popular enough character drop release with the strong enough IP, it's going to sell out even in a bear market. So that's good to know, you know.
Oh yeah, without question. If the additions are lower, then yeah, it's like it's in good IP. It's gonna sell out.
Like we saw how fast Darth Vader sold out. I mean, that was a while ago, but it was still a bear market and that sold out and did really really well. Now, I know you got some collectibles in your background there. I know I see the Todd, I see some comics. I see the
Yeah.
VV logo. Let's go. This is the first
Yay.
this is the FA VV logo if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah. They even had a
um
card in that
they
ship in that
did.
box, and that's actually the first like gold and silver card.
It
So
is.
and that's actually signed by both David and Dan as well. So a lot of people don't know that. They think the decon card is the first card that's signed. It's not. It's that's I mean, sorry.
Second edition.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, I know.
But that led me into my question. Might be one of the last questions we get to before the drop. Might add in another one, but I see you're kind of a collector now, and I know you just had to let go of the. You were telling me the
Yeah.
Todd comic. You had a 9.8. I only got a 9.0.
Yeah.
But you'll get yours back though. I got confidence you'll get yours back.
Yeah.
Did VeVe turn you into a collector? Maybe it reignited your collectiveness in you, or were you always a collector?
Yeah, so I was always a collector, and I started with coins when I was a kid, and that progressed to like random other stuff, quarters, doing the quarter map,
Yeah, with the
and that led
States.
up, yeah, the states,
I
and
used to
that,
do that too.
yeah, and so that and Pogs, but I really didn't like Pogs as much, but I still kind of collected those. I collected actually a lot of Batman figurines when I was a kid, all the different toys. But the main thing was Pokemon. That's when I really got serious, and then I had like a whole binder of first editions, and then that's kind of like yeah. It fast forward till VeVe, it reignited my collecting for sure, like without a doubt. And I wouldn't even gotten into comics if it wasn't for VeVe. So I wouldn't know anything about comics if it wasn't for VeVe. So
Wow. Is
yeah,
that to,
yeah.
is that your only comic that you've bought in the physical world so far? The Todd McFarlane comic?
Well, so far I got like a
Like
bunch of
graded ones.
others. Oh, graded. Yeah, yeah. That's my first. That was my very first graded, and
How amazing does
insane.
it feel in the case? I was like,
It feels so good. You're like, oh, it
I
doesn't
know.
even feel real. You're like, is this real life? Like,
Right, right.
like is this
Now,
really?
one thing I saw too, PSA is now grading Funko Pops, and I thought that was pretty cool. But once I saw I was like, how are they grading the Funko Pop? Is it like you take the character out, but then they're grading the whole box? So I saw a couple of them. It's like a big box and a whole plastic, case. I was like, that's pretty cool. That might feel amazing once you get it. I know Funko Pops aren't that expensive or anything, but that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, they have like a whole sheet system. It's great. I don't even know how it works. Like, it's so extensive and like vast because there's so many Funkos that they've
Right.
dropped. It's
There's
insane.
not too many that are extremely limited editions. So
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll take like 10, 20 years for like some of them to be like really valuable,
I agree with
like the
that.
very first ones they dropped, you can get those graded. I think those will do really well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hey, Palace Zachary Roy, what's up, man?
The palace is in the building.
Yeah.
Now, Kyle,
Nice.
being here so early, like we had a lot of opportunity in the beginning. What was some of your favorite collectibles that you picked up and that are still holding on to from like the early days?
I still have my I have like my Todd, my Joe Mad. I still have my Mojo Jojo.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, for those listening, I bought that from Johnny way back in the day, and I still have it.
Let's go.
I have a Space Lumpy Princess from Crypto Khaki still from the early days.
Hey, shout out Crypto Khaki.
And then in terms of like super valuable stuff, I've actually flipped Superman a few times.
Okay.
He kind of was like one of my favorite DC superheroes, but I kind of use them to flip. Like Batman for me is the one that's super
Okay.
special. So I mean, I may
Yeah.
flip him just to maybe accumulate more of them. I don't know. I might
Right,
swing
right.
trade, but I still have that original like retail Todd.
Wow, that's
I
big
mean,
time
obviously,
right there. I didn't realize that.
yeah, I still have that. I still have my retail Secret Rare
Joe.
Spider-Man. I'm still bullish on him.
Wow. Wait, so you
Yeah.
landed a secret rare Spidey 2 on the drop?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, dude, I didn't know that. I thought you might have bought yours on the market because I knew you had one.
No, yeah,
You were listing it for like 9 mil. I was like, let's go.
yeah.
That's so crazy, dude. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that drop was before we had blind boxes. So that was like the old school drop to where you could pick going for the secret rare, ultra rare, common, and you went for the secret rare. Let's go.
I thought everybody would like trip themselves up mentally and not go for it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna
Same.
go for the ultra rare or the common," and feel like I'm gonna get something. And then plus it was expensive, so I was like, "Oh, people."
$400.
Yeah, I was like, people are gonna get like they're gonna not want to go for it because it's a lot. So I was like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
going for it now," because like people are gonna trip
Smart
themselves out.
move. I think that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened because obviously that was before things got crazy with like the drops, but still, it's 1,000 edition collectible secret rare Spidey. Like that was a pretty good one to get, man. Shout out to you for grabbing that one. Now, speaking of the early collectibles, and we got my 5-minute alarm about to go off soon. So,
I admit
well,
it.
one last question here. From those early days, those collectibles that you still have, is there any that you may regret letting go that you wish you still had, or you pretty much are pretty satisfied with the ones that you decided to let go?
I just wish I bought more. I don't.
Right. We all do. Yeah, we all do.
I still have most. I think I still have most of my like actual collection. There's ones I still would like to pick up. So if anything, I want to buy. I want to buy more, especially like in this market.
Yeah, definitely, man.
But
Definitely.
yeah, I don't know if there's anything I let go. I think Superman's the only one missing out of my Trinity, like Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman. So I could pick him back up though if I wanted to. But other than that, like no, I'm pretty good as long as I have a Todd or
Yeah.
whatever. That I'm pretty Gucci. So
That's amazing. And you still have your original one that you bought from the store. That's gonna be like a unicorn, man. I'm a huge believer in those, in like the um what am I trying to think of here? Like the historical ownership, I guess, the
yeah,
ownership
yeah.
history. And so think of like a couple years from now, how many are still gonna have a retail owned first ever VV NFT? So many people have flipped them, bought it back, flipped them. I only have two left that are retail owned, so I wanted to get a third tie just to be able to maybe flip in the future because I don't want to ever let those two go. Um,
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, at some point it's like you want a drop, and then it's like, well, I need the liquid for it. So it can be pretty tough to like make those decisions. But yeah, Todd's one of those ones. I have to have one in the showroom at all times.
yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to my guy Rickard Broma here. He's definitely been a huge supporter of the channel. He also helped out with a lot of giveaways, did Omi giveaways. So shout out to my guy Rickard Broma. Jay said bear market scoop. Chasing Sundays, appreciate the heads up. Little 5-minute window here. Let's get it right into the drop window. I'll bring up where to maybe click buy now for some new users that are tuning in. I'll rewind all the way from the beginning. So, you guys are new to the VeVe platform, which you may be, but most of you guys are probably OGs by now. Make sure you guys hit that store tab at the bottom. That's going to bring you to that main page. Click the drop, Star Wars R2-D2. You're going to see the little timer screen down here. We got 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. Now, here's when things get a little tricky. Well, first, the buy now button pops up right below the comment and the heart button, right below that in a little space, right above the text. Now, one thing that you want to be aware of is do not bring down the text button. If you bring down this text button, it's going to slightly move where the buy now button pops up. So definitely leave that closed. And one thing I like to try to do is time these drops. Now, the buy now button will pop up 1 second after you see 0 minutes and 0 seconds. 1 second after that, the buy now button pops up. So if you know the button pops up 1 second after 0, you can kind of try to time it instead of reacting to seeing the buy now pop up. That way you can get in there just a little bit quicker than some of the other people. By timing it, I mean I slightly start my press right before I even see the buy now pop up. So I'll count down from like 5 to 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Buy now. And right where I hit 0, I wait 1 full second and then click. So that's just one way to try to time it. Good luck, my guy, Kyle Wilson, with
Here we
the
go.
Star Wars drop. We got 2 minutes to go. Kyle, have you hit a drop lately, or you've been striking out? How's it been going?
I mean, I think the DeLorean, because nobody like that wasn't highly contested, so I got that one.
Okay. I actually
uh,
haven't got that one yet. The one that
the
flies,
flying
right?
one, yeah.
Yeah. I still got to grab that. Rick
I
Brome at
don't.
37 million. Let's go. 37 million Omi. Yeah. These are the prices to stack right now, Rickard.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the miles drop.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go for you?
I forgot about it. Like
Oh,
I
you
was like,
completely forgot about
well,
it.
yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. It was just like a minute later, and I was like, oh no, like I missed it.
No.
That's the thing with these drops, man, and how like you have to be there. Like
You do.
you have to be so present in the moment.
Yep. Like, I'll probably stop talking with like 20 seconds left just to be in this.
Yeah.
We got a minute 5 seconds left, fam. Need all the juju and Wi-Fi. Yeah, shout out to Superstar Money fam. The Juju. Minute left, fam. 57 seconds. Shout out to all my coffee gators out there still drinking on the coffee.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped for this drop actually.
See, Rios. I'm clicking right below the comment, right below the heart, right above the text. Do not bring the text button down. Getsy, let's go. We got Rebel Duck. All right.
Rebel Duck.
One thing I like doing too with less than 30 seconds, backing out and coming right back in. I'll just hit the store tab. See, that one felt delayed a little bit. So I'm going to go back and do it again. Until I see it coming down in order. Now we're good. 15 seconds. Good luck, fam. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got it.
Oh, you did? I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. Oh no! Oh wait! Oh, I did. Dang, that was so fast.
No! Oh my
Oh
god!
no!
No way!
I thought I hit. I was like, oh.
Dude, I had literally the best time I think I've ever had in my entire life on that one.
Oh, I thought I did. Dang.
This literally was. I didn't record it either. Wow. So you're just gonna have to watch the recording again because I literally. That was unbelievable right there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Oh. All right. Well, now.
What do you think it's gonna be?
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be red. I don't know. I'm guessing just red. What was it? Yeah, I think it's red. Or no,
Lola.
Yeah,
It's the LOLA Secret Rare. Let's go. 352.
Yeah,
wow.
There you go. Oh yeah, Secret Rare. Yeah.
This is the one I said it would flip. I wanted the C-3PO. Wow, R2-D2 for Getsy. Instant sellout. Looks like, yeah, this was, you're right, bro. This one sold out ASAP.
Yeah. There, no question. I think people were flooding it because they wanted stuff. To be honest.
that happens, honestly. That does happen. Getsy.
I mean, this droid's pretty cool. That Lola one. I mean, that's pretty good. I think they did a C-3PO a little dirty, but I haven't seen it on my phone yet, so I'm gonna pull it up. Oh dang, Tyler Sheehan got a number 78 Lola. That's pretty good.
Wow, yeah, sub 100. Holy cow. I haven't made a post about getting a drop in the longest time.
I mean, it looks a lot better, like, on the mobile phone.
It does look good, even just through the screen right there.
Yeah. I just wish he had a little... He does. He looks really good. I just wish he had a little bit more gold up in there, but I get why they would make it look like not as much gold.
Did you know about the little, I guess, Easter egg? It's not really Easter egg, but I mean, kind of. About his leg being silver?
Yeah. He also has like a red arm eventually. Like he loses an arm or something like that.
Really?
Along the way, yeah. And I think that's about the point where like his memory gets reset and he forgets like everything, which is kind of sad. But
see, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, so you gotta school me a little bit on all that stuff.
No,
And we don't have VeVe in 3 yet to go over all the background information, but I can't wait till they start dropping on VeVe.
Yeah, you can even see the circuits like in the back of his leg too. Like you can't really see, I guess.
Honestly, it looks way better, even just through that screen. I haven't checked it out yet. I thought maybe the Lola would be animated.
Oh yeah, my phone you can't really see well. I don't know why. The cam's not strong enough to pick it up, but you can see like the wiring back there.
About to check it out.
Yeah, there's like a lot of color in the wire.
Oh wow. Dude, yeah, this C-3PO looks even way better than I thought. Because you're right. On the like thumbnail and stuff, it didn't look like amazing.
Right.
But no, I like this one.
Yeah, you can like see his circuits and like all that.
Yep, that looks really good. Well, all right, now the question is price predictions. What do you think this is going to be going for, selling for in the market?
I think it'll do good. The C-3PO will do pretty good. R2-D2, maybe like a couple hundred, and then C-3PO like maybe like double that. I know I put out a video and I said 1,000, but I forgot to edit that out. But I guess I shot it
It
when I was
could.
like, so,
It might get there. I think you are right with the first one, maybe just under 1,000. I think Superstar Money was going to be pretty spot on. I watched their video last night and they said about like 800 ish, and I was like, okay, that seems pretty solid. I could see it maybe getting to 800.
yeah, I had like a price range. I'll have to go back to the video. I made a comment on my channel. I just forgot.
Let's see. It's going for 550 right now. The LOLA.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty good.
450 now. I just refreshed it.
So yeah, the C3PO 4 to 600 out of the gates.
Okay.
I think it'll be like
It's at
fluctuate.
1K.
Well, so my price prediction was right. I should just went with the original one.
And it's going up 1.1 now. Wow. Shout out to all the C3PO holders, the new one. There's only 22 listed. So
Well,
right
everybody
away,
told me it wouldn't go to 1K, so I readjusted.
this one is doing better right now than the Golden Moment C3PO.
Everybody said in my video I said they would, and nobody. I got a lot of pushback on that. So
Wow. The OG was great. And then the newest R2D2 is going for 380 right now, 325. So a few hundred. About right. R5D4 going for 145. LOLA is going for 530. Man, I kind of want to flip this. But there's only 400 something editions. I told myself I would flip it.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens here. I'm known to hold on to things. Johnny and Kyle, the dynamic duo. Appreciate you, Riley.
Hey, what's up, Riley?
How crazy is that, Zachary Roy? Did I get a crazy mint number either, or?
See, I thought I was tripping with the 1K price prediction, but there
Spot
it
on.
is. Yeah.
Spot on with that. They're doing a little bit better than people thought right now.
Yeah. I had a feeling people were kind of flooding it. Now it's hitting right at 1K, so it may fluctuate and go back down. So we'll see.
Very
We'll
true.
see.
Very true.
There are only 31 listed as C3PO currently.
It's good to see a VeVe drop happen and do really well right away.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
wait for the R2 to come down a little bit, and then I'll
Same.
probably get one.
340 right now.
Yeah, I really like the R2D2. I think they did an
Same.
amazing job. Yeah.
Same. I appreciate you, Zach. Zachary Roy, the Palace. Insta sold R2D2 for 385 and we gonna make it. Solid profits right there, brother.
I mean, it's just so quality, man. They did
It
such
really
a good
is.
job.
And I love the fact that it's moving without even having to press it. Gives it
Yeah,
that like alive feeling.
I love his eye just like moving around. It's like zzz, zzz.
They did a really good job.
It's just so cool.
Amazing. And that's going to be amazing in augmented reality too, like messing around with it in different settings and stuff like that. I'll
I mean,
probably
there
have
can
to
only-
take it to the golf course and get one.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, okay, Zachary Roy's loving the boxer blocker.
Remember, I remember when R2 came out as a golden moment, and then it was like, or was it a golden moment? Yeah, and somebody's like phone glitched and it looked platinum or whatever. And it's like,
I remember that. I was like, wow. They were
we all
kidding.
thought, yeah.
They said something like, yeah, I got the secret rare 101 or something. I was like, wow.
We're like, no way. We all believed it too. We're all like, is there a Easter egg? Like, is there like a secret one?
Yeah, I did believe it. C3PO's 950 right now. This is an awesome drop.
Hey, Ricker, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I do plan to get the R2D2. I think C3PO. This one will be a little bit out of my range, but if it comes all the way down, I'm definitely grabbing one.
Yeah,
That's the
it's,
thing.
now it's going back to 800. So
That's the thing. I think, and a lot of people are asking, like, is it this one or this one that's gonna do better, like with the FA or not? I think it's both, because the hardcore fans, if it's a strong enough character, they're gonna want both. I look at it like comics. Like, people always ask, is it gonna be the original cover low mint, or is it gonna be that secret rare cover? And I'm like, I look at it as my personal preference is one thing, but I think a hardcore comic fan is gonna want the whole set of covers, because I look at people with a big enough budget, And I'm like, they're not just going to stop at the original cover low mint. They're going to get the most scarce one that they can afford, and vice versa. If a hardcore comic collector sees Marvel Comics 1 and is a big budget whale, they're going to get the secret rare cover, but they're also going to want that original cover. And you separate yourself with the low mint or special mint. So I always say, if it's a popular enough character or IP, it's going to be all the ones that come out, in my opinion. And
Totally.
I think Safety Blanket. I was covering this a little bit earlier before you came on the live stream. I think Safety Blanket for me is the first appearance long term, like 5, 10, 20 years from now, because every year they could come out with a more scarce R2D2 or this character or that one, a different colorway, different animation, and that's probably going to do well if it's a big enough character in the short term. But I think long term, the difference between 1,000 editions and 8,000 editions when you're talking about Grail characters is not going to be that much of a difference when we have those millions and millions of people on the platform. If one has the first appearance tag, it's kind of the way I'm looking at it. But
And everybody's making moves in the chat, man. Sold it right away and then bought one back.
Wow, yeah, that's the thing.
Flip game strong.
Yeah, VeVe brings so many different opportunities.
Yeah, and people are concerned with that liquidity, but drops like this prove that like you can move stuff around a little bit. So.
Exactly.
Still opportunities. Still opportunities.
And that's the thing. When we have a bull market, you just kind of got to adapt to the certain situation we're in. You find a Grail mint or something.
No, somebody listed theirs for $1.20, and I tried to buy it just now, and it sold out.
Oh
no.
My gosh!
I should have took a picture of who that was.
Man.
Oh no! Somebody accidentally sold that. Oh.
Fumbled back. All right. So any new users listening right now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are veterans in the game, OGs. But in case you're new and you got a collectible today, do not put a decimal point when you're listing these collectibles. Write out the full amount. Meaning, if you want to list it for $1,200, write 1200. Triple check. Do never ever write 1.2 thinking it's going to be 1.2K. It'll be $1.20. Never use decimal points.
That's so wild.
Oh man, that's
sad.
That's what they're trying to do probably too. Yep.
I tried to buy it and I could have just gave it back, but that's awful.
That's a tough one right there.
Yeah.
Man.
Oof. Fumbled the bag. Fumbled the ball.
That's how I felt. Well, it would have been a great fumble for me, honestly. Did I tell you a story about how I landed the Superman comic?
Oh, no.
9.8. Unbelievable, dude. Like, it was so unbelievable to where I literally didn't believe it. Like, I got the comic at work. It was a crazy story just to even how I got it. I guess I'll say it real quick. Normally I would get gas if I'm on E the day before, like wherever I'm at the store or whatever, because I had work at 5 a.m. So I'm like, no, it felt more right to me just to wait until get gas in that morning before work. Why? I don't know, but it just felt right. So that's what I did. Stopped at the gas station. It was literally 5 a.m. I got to be there by like 5:45, 6. I get there a little early too. So 5 a.m, fill up, get gas. That's when I enter my $20 into my account, my DC Universe account, whatever. Just so I had enough for the drop. I get gas, go to work. 11:30 a.m., 30 minutes before the drop. Open my tab, open my website. I realize it's in my tab. I go to the tab. I'm automatically in the queue because it was open in the morning.
That's insane.
My buddy Tyler.
The luck of that is just insane.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Like, my buddy Tyler Gear texts me. He goes, "Yo, I'm at a black screen right now. What do you mean you're in the queue already?" I was like, "I'm in the queue. I don't know what to tell you." It's like,
yeah.
So I was like, "Wow, this is insane." I'm just watching it. I'm not hitting refresh, and I'm just going right through the line. It's like I got a fast pass, dude. I'm just zooming through. I'm like, what is happening right now? Finally gets to where I can buy it. I go to click buy now. Error screen. I'm like, what is happening right now? For like 10 minutes, I'm like, this is not right. I'm so scared to hit refresh. So I'm just error screen. Finally, I'm like, it has to be Wi-Fi. Get the Wi-Fi. 2 minutes to go because you had like a 15-minute window. Click buy now. Finally went through. Purchase successful. I was like, wow, I got one. This is insane.
Dang.
As soon as it came in my account, I was like, this is crazy. I actually got one. Let me sell it. 5K. The floor is like 500. I was like, I'm just going to list it for 5K. See what happens. As soon as I listed it, Dan, Secret Rare on Twitter, he did the interview with, I think, NFT Pirates, Ryan from the Drop, Comics and Crypto, did one with me, My Collectibles. He texted me, he goes, dude, how'd you get the Legendary? I was like, wait, I do have the Legendary, the 9.8? How many are there? How do you know I have one? How do I check? I was like, because I'm busy at work, so I was trying to do a bunch of things. And he told me I had it, so I tried to delist it. This was the craziest part. I go to hit delist. Sorry, someone's already reserved your order to purchase it. I was like, no way. Just fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I finally was able to delist it, and then I delisted it, and I'm just holding on to it right now. But
yeah, that's one of the most iconic, comics ever. Like, it's insane, man.
So
That's like for the books. That's like history right there. Like,
so crazy.
We're so early. It's so crazy. It's just like, what?
And like you said, that's a big comic book. I believe in. I almost wanted it to not be that one because I wanted to sell it for $10K. Like I needed a little come up, so that would have been clutch, turning $10 into $9K or whatever. But I just believe in the comic book in this digital comic space so much where I'm like, I think I'm just gonna hold on to it.
Man.
See what happens. And we at 9,500 right now. Is that for the comment? 1418. That's a good mint right there. Any mint on R2D2 is going to be really good in the moment.
Man, they said that wouldn't flip the gold moments.
Right away, it flipped it.
It flipped it like by 3 times. Yeah, like twice.
Crazy. Now, I think something like this is going to do well. I do believe, though, that the first appearance is going to climb slowly but steadily over time. Like, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Once we get that far away, we might have 10 scarce C3POs on the app that are awesome. Yeah. And so I think that first one's going to be crazy. But
yeah, I mean, there's, OUP's around the corner. There's a lot of things that could really boost the first, the FA for sure. Definitely. Like OUP, you could like possibly burn some of these editions off. It is a part of the first Star Wars IP ever. So it's like, long term, I'm still bullish on all that. And then, of course, MCP. MCP will be really important as well. So
definitely. And Kyle, I know you're a busy guy these days, doing a bunch of different projects, platforms. I know you're grinding with work. You got a family and everything, so I don't want to take up too much of your time today. But man, I appreciate you so much for coming on, brother.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
It's been long overdue. Like I said, if you guys aren't following Kyle, you guys definitely need to check him out. He's always got great content. Whether it's VeVe or another, NFT project, whatever it is, he's been killing it on YouTube. Let's get him to 10K, huh? He deserves it. He's going to be there soon, and I bet it's a wild feeling for you to think about your journey and kind of how everything's unraveled and where we're at today with everything. So,
absolutely, man. Well, it's been a pleasure coming on the channel. It was a long time coming, and it's always a great to be on here, and yeah. Looking forward to meeting you in Decon. So yeah,
man, it's gonna be crazy when we all meet up, brother. Like you said, it kind of gives us a little nostalgic feeling of going to your friend's house, wherever it is, and
for sure.
Appreciate you guys all in the comments and everything. Hopefully, you guys had a good drop. But till next time, we're signing out. It's your boy Johnny Dunn, Kyle Wilson, VeVe OGs, Red Circle Pioneer. We're signing out. Appreciate you guys. Take it easy, fam.